Hey guys, and welcome to episode 8 of the Tea in Tokyo podcast. My name is Somya.
And my name is Ellie.
So this week we
went to Asakusa, and we also had some more high quality vegan food. And some mishaps in our own kitchen.
yeah, that and more coming up right now. Disaster has struck. Minutes before the start of this podcast, I was carrying a chair which holds our microphone, and I walked straight into our door, and because we are living in Japan, our door is made out of cardboard, and the chair has gone through the cardboard door.
He literally put a hole straight through the chair, like the door with the chair's leg. I can't believe it.
You know, it's times like this where you really realize how dumb it is that Japan has paper and cardboard doors.
Well, I don't think it was cardboard. I think it's like a really thin plywood, and then it's literally just got paper on either side. So
yeah, but plywood that's that thin is cardboard, right?
Yeah,
it's the same thing, same material, really. When
I
you think about it.
suppose. So yeah, say goodbye to our bond. What was it, our 10,000 New Zealand dollar bond? It's not coming back.
Yeah, I had already accepted that we weren't going to get that bond a while ago.
To be honest,
just because I knew they were going to be dicks about everything else, so...
I totally thought the first thing that you'd break would be, instead of curtains, we have, literal paper slidey door things. So I thought for sure one of those was going to get a hole through them first, but...
Yeah, the thing is, though, the paper windows, you know that they're fragile, so I'm more careful around them. But this door, I thought the door was a little bit stronger than it actually was. Yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting that. I was so shocked when I went right through, man. Because I wasn't even going fast. I was walking... I was talking to you while I was walking, so it was a very reasonable speed.
Literally went, the whole leg just went, straight through. And we have little, they're socks or gloves that you put on the feet of your chair because, we don't want to damage the floor. So we've got that on all of our furniture. And, the little socky was just, sticking through the other end.
Yeah, god damn it. It was such a good morning before that happened. Literally 2 seconds ago.
Yeah. Damn.
But I've speaking of the mornings, I've really been enjoying the fact that we don't have work in the mornings.
Yeah.
It's making me not want to live the rest of my life where I have to work in the mornings.
It's really good in that, because we thought we were going to do stuff in the mornings, but you know what? It's so much better to just use your mornings to, relax, and then when the weekend comes along, we, have more energy to do fun stuff because we've already had relaxing during the week.
Yeah, that's true. And I've, made it so that I work later now. So I was meant to start at 1:30 and I start instead at 4:30 today.
Damn. I start at 3:15.
Yeah, you have to start at 3:15.
Although my first class hasn't been booked, so maybe if it still hasn't, I might call up and cancel it so I don't have to go in.
Yeah, that's a good thing about our jobs. If your classes haven't been booked, you can cancel it. Which I prefer doing now because otherwise you have to be at work just hoping that someone will book last minute, and then it's just dumb.
Which, to be fair, happens.
Yesterday,
it does happen, I had 2 of my afternoon classes. Well, I had 4 classes booked for the afternoon, after my break, and one of them cancelled last minute. Then someone booked it, then that person cancelled, and then it got booked again, and then the other one that hadn't been booked also got booked a minute beforehand. So, yeah, totally happens. Out of 4 of them, 2 of them got booked within 10 minutes before starting.
Yeah, true. I've got a lot of my classes like that as well, but screw it. I'd rather have the morning. I've been having so much fun relaxing. Yesterday, I got to watch the NBA All-Star game, which was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of books, playing a lot of games. It is pretty good.
Yeah. And the good thing about Ellie's reading books is that she keeps reading the same book over and over again, so, we don't even have to spend money.
Yeah, I'm currently reading, if anyone's read them before, The Ministry of Curiosities. His last necromancer, The Queen's Necromancer, and I can't remember what the third one is. But yeah, so if anyone's interested in some good old adventure fantasy with a bit of romance, that's my recommendation of the week.
Yeah, I'm already bored of that.
So. Sorry!
Let's move on. So last week we went to Asakusa.
We went because one of my co-workers, who's Japanese, I was talking with him in the break room about, how we were planning on going to, Kawagoe, which is, a day trip. And he said to hold off because that's, famous for strawberry picking. And he was like, go to Asakusa, you've got to do it. It's, such a tourist destination.
Yeah, it's really touristy. I reckon that's the most touristy
Yeah.
place we've been. Like even more so than Shinjuku, which like you hear about so much.
Because Shinjuku is super busy, but it's lots of like Japanese people. Whereas Asakusa was super busy and it was just like all foreigners and Japanese people.
Yeah, and I reckon it's because Shinjuku is so like modern. Just looks like any other modern city, I guess. Whereas Asakusa Asakusa. It like kind of it just reminds you of like a typical Asian like marketplace, like, you know, one that you'd go to Asia to find, where like there's heaps of markets and and it's almost like you can go to these markets and you can like haggle the price and stuff, and like everything that they sell is like traditional Japanese things,
Like touristy stuff, basically.
yeah, like very touristy stuff.
So it's like a whole bunch of like stalls / small shops that sell like, I think it's like in Japan you'd call like a souvenir, like an omiyage.
So there's the market and everything, and
so like, well, we got there and there's like apparently there's like 3 or 4 Asakusa train stations. So our friend was like, make sure you go to the right one. So we figured out which one we were going to, but then her train got delayed, so we got off at like from exit 1 of the train station, and it was like a super touristy area. We wandered around for a bit, went back to meet her, and man, we could not figure out where she was.
Yeah, we realised that meeting at train stations is the worst thing to do, just because the train stations here are so massive that you never know where you're going to meet them.
So, like, she wanted us to meet her at exit 5. We got out at exit 1 and we're like, sweet, we'll find our way back. But then we went and found a map in the train station. There was no exit 5.
Yeah, but then we eventually found it. And then she ended up going to A5. Like, it's just a big complicated thing. So anyway, the other thing that's at this area is a temple. So the temple is called Sujoji, I think. Oh, Sensoji, which was built all the way in 628, which is a weird year to say, like year 628.
Yeah.
And apparently it's the oldest temple in Tokyo.
Hence why it's such a popular tourist destination.
Yeah.
So it's got like a massive walkway leading up to the temple where all of these like stalls selling the omiyage are. And, you know, it's super crowded. Like, and lots of all of the Japanese tourists there were wearing like kimono.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen like a lot of traditional Japanese clothing being worn. And the guys were wearing like their version of it. Which I don't know what it's called, but might be a kimono as well, actually.
No, it's not called. It starts with Y, I believe. Let me look it up. But I think it's because in the area, like, there's lots of kimono rental shops.
Yeah, we were wondering that. Like, do they rent these out? Is that what they have? And also, why do they wear it there? Like, I was thinking that they wear it because they're trying to get money from tourists, like, to take photos with them. Because I noticed a lot of them were taking photos with tourists. But I could be wrong.
It could just be tourists asking because they look pretty. It's called a yukata, is the boys' version. Yukata.
Yeah. And we got our fortunes again at this temple, and I got a really good fortune. My one was like
best
super
fortune.
Yeah, it was literally called best fortune.
Yeah.
Whereas Ellie got worst fortune.
Yeah. Mine was like, you will not have success, you'll have disease, you will have a bad job. But it said now is a good time to take a trip.
Yeah.
Starting a new job or a new career or a new marriage will have average luck. So it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. And my one was like, you'll have everything will be perfect. You'll cure like sickness and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the lucky thing was that Ellie's one said that she would get a disease, I think, and my one said it would cure a disease.
So coronavirus, I'm ready for you.
Yeah. So it actually worked out pretty well. I cancelled out her bad one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really nice temple.
The friend we were with got medium luck, so we really got one of everything.
Yeah, we got everything. Yeah.
But it was cool as well because often you see people like folding up and tying the they have like, I don't know, places like bars where you can tie it, and it turns out you only do that if you have bad luck. So I got to do that, which was cool to, you know. Yeah,
we didn't know that, but luckily, like the other times that we've been at places like that, it's been so crowded that we haven't been able to tie it up. But if it wasn't, I totally would have tied up like the good ones too. So it's a good thing we found this one out now.
Because over the bars that you, or like, you know, the lines that you could tie it up, it had a sign saying bad fortune only. So we knew to only do mine.
Yeah, so this was like a nice place. Like, we didn't actually buy anything from the markets, but it was just nice walking around, having a look at all the traditional stuff. There was also a really good view of the Sky Tree from there, which is the tallest like tower in Japan. And there's like a nice river there as well. Like you can like walk down, and it's a pretty nice place.
You can go to the top floor of the tourist information like building. in the
Yeah,
area,
yeah.
and from there you get like a view, like a skyline view of the city, which is pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
free to go to the top floor.
Yeah, it's only like 10 stories up, so it's not that high, but it's all you need. Like,
Yeah.
especially for when it's free.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good view, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We went to a bar there as well. What was it? It was the Asahi Brewery.
Yeah, so there's like an Asahi like brewery there, or I don't know if it's a factory or maybe it's the head office. It's a real weird building because it's like black with like almost no windows. Yeah, on the top of it is like this gold thing, which
Like a
looks
little
like
sperm.
yeah, Ellie reckon looked like a sperm. Like I don't know what they're going for.
Apparently, it's meant to look like a beer drop, like a drop of beer.
Yeah.
But it didn't, because it was on its side.
Oh, a beer. Is that what you're saying when you say beer drop? Like a drop of beer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, definitely doesn't look like a drop of beer.
But apparently it's meant to look like
It looks like toothpaste. Or I heard that Japanese people call it the golden turd.
Yeah. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, that's literally what it looked like. But yeah, we had a beer there, and like I was so excited because it was like a craft beer place as well. And I got like a stout, which I love. And it was only 630 yen, which is super cheap. Like that's like $8 for a stout beer. So I was super excited for it. But then when it came out, turns out it's the smallest glass of beer ever. Like it was literally like 150 mils, if that.
Yeah.
So I was like, God
pretty
damn it!
ridiculous.
No wonder it was so cheap. Like it actually turned out to be super expensive.
Like it was tiny. It was like smaller than his hand. But it was cool because this like bar had like outdoor seating where they had like kotatsus. So it's like a coffee table that has like an electric blanket like underneath it, so you can sit under the coffee table with the electric blanket over you.
Yeah, that I really loved. That's something that I 100% want to get when like we have our own place one day. You know, like
It'll be
outdoor seating with a
super,
nice
like-
blanket. Like what the hell? That's
Would
awesome.
be super like weebo otaku-y to get one because it's like considered like it's like one of those things that like traditional Japanese homes have as like spending
Yeah,
time
but
with your
most
family.
people wouldn't even know that though. It's only
Yeah,
if
but
you knew.
anyone who was like Japanese would be like, what a nerd.
Yeah, maybe.
But you know what? Would be comfy, so who cares?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to get one of those. And then, so that bar, we didn't stay there for that long, but it was pretty good. Like
Yeah,
the
like
beer
I
and
got
stuff,
like a peach and oolong tea cocktail, which had like 0% alcohol, even though it was meant to be alcoholic.
Yeah, which is like staying in tune with the rest of like how they do
Yeah.
cocktails in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the other thing that we did was that we continued our trend of going to vegan restaurants.
Oh yeah.
So thinking, man, like this is almost turning into a vegan podcast now because it's 2 weeks in a row we're talking about
This
it.
guy here isn't even vegan or vegetarian, but he does
and yet-
enjoy some good quality vegan food.
Yeah, like last week when we went to 2 weeks ago when we went to that vegan restaurant that we were talking about in our last
Teas
podcast.
restaurant.
Yeah, damn, that food was so goddamn good, that lasagna. And then this time we went to another place called the Farm Cafe for lunch. And I had like a avocado mushroom sandwich.
And I was lame and I
man,
got the same thing.
It was so good. Oh yeah, that's right. We both got the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, another like great vegan meal.
Although, with the drinks, right, the girl we were with, she got like she asked in Japanese, she speaks Japanese, for an iced matcha tea that they had on offer, but they brought her out a hot one. And I asked for like it was like a lemongrass hot tea, and then they brought out a rose one. But I was like too awkward to like, we were both too like, didn't want to be rude and send it back. So that was kind of like slightly average service.
Yeah, but that was
right?
probably just lost in translation somewhere.
I mean, you point at a picture on the thing. Like,
Yeah, but it's like there's the same picture for hot and cold.
but mine was like the entirely wrong drink.
Oh, right, okay. Well,
But I mean, regardless, like, yeah, Swami said, the food was really good, the sandwich was nice. I preferred the other restaurant. I thought it was, like, better quality. This was, like, the type of place that if we lived in the area would probably be regulars at, and you'd, like, just hang out.
Yeah, because the other place was an actual restaurant. Like, you would actually, like, go for dinner, whereas this is, like, just a random cafe. Like,
Yeah.
it's, like, super chilled. So, yeah, that was good. And then we had vegan again the same day.
Yeah, this
for
was
dinner.
Valentine's Day, so for Valentine's Day we had a vegan...
Oh, yeah, so this is all happening on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we went to, so that really good quality vegan restaurant, the Teas restaurant, or Teas Tokyo, depending on where you look it up, is, they have like a chain. So that was the restaurant, but they also have a ramen chain called Teas Tantan.
Yeah, Teas Tantan at my work's like train station at Tokyo Station. And so we had ramen there. I had what did I have? I just had like a normal ramen with normal vegan ramen with vegan gyoza as well.
And
which was so damn good. It was
yeah.
it was basically like a normal ramen. Like if you just gave me that without telling me it was vegan, I wouldn't know it was vegan.
Yeah,
apart from the fact that it didn't have meat, obviously.
You didn't feel like you were missing anything.
Yeah,
which is, I think, essential, right?
Yeah.
To be able to like comfortably continue to have a vegan or vegetarian diet is to not feel like you're lacking something.
Yeah.
And I got a tantan, so that's like what this place is named after, like the specific type of ramen. It had like tahini paste and like lots of
so you got the
sesame.
tantan. Yeah, I was wondering what the hell that was. So there
I
you
think
go.
I got the tantan.
No,
I don't know.
yeah, you did.
The
you
menu
did.
wasn't Japanese, but and I also got mapu tofu, which I love. Anyways, I make a great mapu tofu, but this wasn't as spicy as the one that I make.
Yeah, Japanese people don't really do spicy.
Yeah.
Like like at Family Mart they have chicken, like the famous Fami chicken that they sell, and they also have a spicy version of it. And the spicy version is like there's no difference between that and the normal version.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little bit of pepper.
Yeah, yeah. So they really can't do spicy here, but regardless, it was still good though.
Yeah, the food was delicious. Like the mapo tofu was not spicy. The ramen was really good, although it was like because it had like the tahini paste, it was like really like a rich broth, and that plus the mapo tofu was too much food for me.
Yeah, that was definitely way too much food for you.
Yeah.
We should have known.
Yeah, I know, but like I couldn't decide which I wanted, like
Yeah.
mapo tofu or ramen, so why not both?
Yeah, true. And yeah, because it was Valentine's Day, what I found out the day before is that in Japan they do Valentine's Day a little bit differently, where it's actually the girl's responsibility to buy chocolate for the guy.
Yeah.
So I told Ellie, like, you better buy me chocolate.
At like 10 o'clock the night before, he was like, I expect chocolate.
And then she told me that she hadn't got me chocolate, but then the next morning it turns out she had.
Yeah,
so it was a
pretty
nice sweet
sneaky.
surprise.
I
Yeah.
said, I got all angry and I was like, what do you think? I'm going to get you chocolate. But I knew that in Japan it was one.
Oh, what? You already knew that?
Yeah,
What the
of
hell?
course. So I'd secretly bought like the cheapest chocolate I could find in Family Mart. But
Yeah.
Still.
And then but then I bought you a plant.
Yes,
as well,
he bought me a
so
very
it's
pretty
alright.
flower
Yeah.
that we've currently got in our bathroom.
Yeah. So yeah, it all worked out. And then so for the guy, like the guy is meant to buy chocolate for the girl a month later on White Day.
Yeah, so
So
it's
they have like 2 Valentines.
Yeah, so it's like if he gets given chocolate by the girl, he returns it. So he doesn't get it
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
girl he likes. It's only if she got him something.
Yeah. So that's a good little tradition that they have here, I reckon. You know.
I don't know. I think normally the girls are meant to make like homemade chocolatey sweets for the guy.
No, I don't know if it
no,
matters that
yeah,
much.
that's what you're meant to do. But I was basic and I bought some pre-made chocolate.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It was my favorite chocolate, so it's alright.
Yeah.
So the food that we had on that Friday, when we went on our wee little day adventure, it was a good thing we had great food that day because the next night Ellie made food, and Jesus Christ, Ellie is really really good at making food.
I'm a very good chef normally.
Yeah, she's a very good chef. But holy crap, she made the worst thing I've ever had in my life.
It was really bad. And you know, it was like the most basic meal.
It's like, you know when, that old prank where you pass someone the salt shaker, but then you open it up, you like untwist it so that when they think they're getting a little bit, the whole thing like just falls on your
I
food.
did that to myself.
Yeah, Ellie did it to herself.
Because you know how you put like a little bit of salt in, well, it was a pasta dish, and you know how you put some salt in when you're cooking the pasta? Like, in the past, we've always had salt shakers, right? Or like a grinder.
Yeah.
But this one, we just have like a bag of salt. And so I went to like pour some in, and like not enough came out. So I sort of did like a more like vigorous like jerk
Yeah.
of it. And like literally, I'm not even exaggerating, half the bag of salt poured into it.
Yeah, but regardless, you still added the veggies and stuff
Because it was the last pasta we had. I couldn't throw it out. It was already cooking. I wasn't going to waste. I was like, you know what?
Wait, so was this salt in the pot?
Yeah,
like
this
with the water in
Yeah,
it?
it was in the water.
Holy
so
shit.
my logic was, I was like, you know what? There's a lot of salt, but it's not even like it's like in the water. It probably
Yeah,
won't soak
yeah.
into the pasta that much. And so I like made the dish and I added all the veggies and the everything, and it was like literally like
Yeah, it was
I thought I
so
might
salty.
die from eating it.
Yeah, honestly. I could feel the water like just coming right out of my tongue
Yeah.
while I was eating it.
And I tried to persevere. I was like, I will not waste food. Like, that's bad.
I didn't at all. I had 3 pieces and I was like, fuck this. I can't do it. I
And
literally
like,
cannot do this.
the other bad thing with it, right, is that we didn't realise, or I didn't realise that in our pasta container thing, there was like large pasta and small pasta. So it was really unevenly cooked because the small pasta was like overcooked from cooking too long, and the large pasta was undercooked because
Oh, yeah, that's
like,
right.
and so the
Yeah,
pasta
God
was
damn
like
it.
either super soggy or like still hard. It was literally just like
It was a triple threat of crapness for
It
that
was
meal.
so bad. Like, it was like a thing where, like, you know how, like, if you accidentally, like, you're swimming in the sea and then a wave hits you on the face and you drink salt water and you're like, oh my god, I feel like I'm going to be sick.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like eating this.
Yeah, it honestly was. But then you made up for it because then you made like a tofu awesome rice thingy, which was delicious.
Yeah, I made a teriyaki tofu with, like, steamed broccoli the next
Yeah.
night. But goddamn.
We've learned from this that we need to buy a salt shaker.
Yeah, because that was not good. Like, so, like, I just can't even, like, it was probably like a cup of salt went into that. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I've got my like salt diet for the year now.
yeah.
Like my limit on salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is
All right.
it?
Well, I think that's pretty much it for today.
See you next week.
Thank you for joining us. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, please consider subscribing and also leave a comment. We love to hear from you guys. Remember, you can also follow us on Twitter. We'll see you guys next week.